The college football experience, Nebraska Cornhuskers 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with the promo code TCESGPN. That's our promo code. And remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride.
Hey, folks, it's Rex Burkhead. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
College football experience, Nebraska Cornhuskers 2025 season preview episode, and excited to talk Cornhusker football here. It's a big year, I think, for Matt Rhule. It's a big year for the program, and I did cash on the under last year, so feeling good there. But you know, I think this is a year. I think they took a step last season when they got rid of Satterfield late in the year and went to Dana Holgorsen. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to fade them last year, was the Satterfield effect. So I think that they're in a good spot with Holgorsen with the offense there. So it should be a great year. Nice schedule. We'll talk all about it. We'll talk about everything. Roster, state of the program, Matt Rhule in year 3s historically. And also talk about Nebraska Memorial Stadium, transfer portal, all that good stuff. But you're probably wondering who the hell you're listening to, and that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Oh, boy. Shout out to the chat. Come be a part of the chat as we break down all 136 teams. Solo podcast for each and every team in the land. Good times. I am joined by my co-host, also the host of the college basketball experience. Love what Hoiberg's building there in Lincoln. When the season goes live, we're live every single night of the season, just like we are for football, but same for basketball. Yes, we go all the way from November 3rd or whatever, November 2nd, all the way into the Crown A champ. But yeah, give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, buddy?
What is up? Yeah, go Big Red, big year number 3 of Matt Rhule. Let's take a step here, Cornhusker fans.
Mac tonight, come on, make it Mac tonight. Yeah, obviously Rhule has a great history in year 3s, and also Scott Frost just this was a beautiful accident. We put 136 teams in a randomizer, and we happened to get Nebraska after Frost's ridiculous comments. I think we should start there with
God, it was all yesterday.
Scott Frost, just completely shitting on his former alma mater. And I mean, this is like, he's dumb, because if he handled his cards correctly, like, they might even build him, like, they're not going to build him a statue now, but I'm saying, like, he was a very good quarterback for them.
Yeah.
You would think he could be a legacy play forever there, even if they don't build a statue. And why say that? And also, why not? I mean, these coaches, you're supposed to be preaching accountability. You know, I guarantee he was telling his UCF players in practice, accountability. Oh, by the way, Nebraska botched that whole shit. I didn't lose any of that. That onside kick in that game in Ireland when we were up 11. That was the AD. Trev Alberts texted me saying onside kick. What'd you make of those ridiculous statements? I mean, by my account, maybe you thought there was validity. I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah, I thought he could have done without that. It's the old Batman quote: "You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain." Yeah, it's nobody forced him to take the Nebraska job and make $6-7 million a year. I do understand when you do go home to your alma mater. I didn't. I mean, I not at his level. Obviously, I worked at West Virginia, went to school there, then came back, and obviously, I saw Hugs kind of. It ended not. Hugs has ended way worse than Frost, obviously, for obvious reasons. But similar stuff where you're in a college town where you went to college and you're the man, and there's a lot of distractions, a lot of riffraff, a lot of people pulling you left and right, and it's easy to get distracted and a lot of temptations. And I mean, Scott Frost, I hope he does well at UCF, but yeah, the Nebraska shit, it didn't go well as a head coach.
Those statements were a little horrible, but so Matt Rhule has a history of year threes at Temple in year 3. That was his first coaching job. Remember, he was an assistant prior to that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Weehawk in the chat. Matt Rhule once coached at Western Carolina. He told me I had to include that if he was going to continue to subscribe to these podcasts. But he was obviously played linebacker at Penn State, was GA, I believe, at Penn State, and then was at a few other schools, Buffalo, and coached positions at Temple before becoming the head coach at Temple. And once he became the head coach at Temple, it was a slow build. 2-10 year 1, 6-6 year 2, but they didn't even make a bowl. And then boom, 10-4, 10-3, gets the Baylor job. What happens at Baylor? Year 1, 1-11. Year 2, 7-6. Year 3, 11-3. So double-digit seasons in each third year. And you look at Nebraska, 5-7 year 1, 7-6 last year with that bowl game win. They were 6-6 in the regular season. Could this be that magical run? This seems like the stars are aligning once we get to the schedule, and we will get to the schedule. But I am curious your thoughts. Like, is Rhule gonna be able to do it yet again? Like, you believe the program? I know we're gonna talk about state of the program, but you think everything is on par right now for that jump?
I think so. And he got a nice schedule at Baylor year number 3 as well. So this kind of does remind me of it a little bit. Temple, obviously different league at the time, but I mean, Temple was a dump when he got there. So it does feel like the stars are aligned here. Dana, we'll talk about Dana. Obviously, I've watched Dana Holgorsen offenses for years at West Virginia. So I think that's the main piece is, can this offense take another step and can the defense continue to show some consistency? But yeah, I think Matt Rhule and this schedule that they got, they're in a prime position to have a hell of a year. I think Nebraska fans should be pumped.
Well, I just want to remind Nebraska fans that from 1969 until 2003, you never missed a bowl game, right? Yeah. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 double-digit win seasons. And those were 11-game seasons back then, Mac.
Yep.
And you fired Frank Solich for going 10-3. And you got rid of the option attack. The power, they were doing a power eye and shit too, but for Bill Callahan Auto Parts, and it's kind of been a disaster ever since. I mean, Pelini had it going a little bit, actually a decent amount. Pelini was that's the irony, is Pelini was their best coach, but everyone hated him.
He won 9 games every year, right?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Like every single year, you're dead fucking right. Dude, they fired Solich at 10-3. What the fuck? And then they fired Pelini at 9-4. You deserve this in a way, but I am one that I think Matt Rhule is the guy to get the program going. And and you've kind of saw it last year with a 7-6 season. Let's talk about it because if you look at Matt Rhule's career, youtube.com/the college experience, he was 11-3 in 2019 at Baylor. He is building this thing 59-56 overall, but that's why records are fucking, it's like, I think the guy's much better than 59-56 personally. It's just, he's a guy that rebuilds it. You talked about it. Part of the reason why I want to buy in is Dana Holgerson's the OC. He was there. He's a Mike Leach guy. We are a Mike Leach podcast. He was a friend of ours. And, Holgerson played for him at Iowa Wesleyan, coached with him at Valdosta and everywhere else. Obviously Texas Tech. This is going to be a smash play here. Even if the schedule was the same as last year's schedule, this offense will be way better than 94th. 103rd in scoring offense, 65th in pass offense, 96th in rush offense, 94th in total offense. Look, we're gonna go through. They started freshman Dylan Raiola, and look at Holgo.
Look at
right?
Dana.
Yeah, let's go. Dylan Raiola was threw 13 touchdowns, 11 interceptions in his first season. One of the reasons why I see the raw skills, but I just don't like Marcus Satterfield. So getting rid of him, I think you're already on, and then to add him with Holgerson, who I think is decent with quarterbacks, pretty damn decent with quarterbacks. They returned 3 of 5 on the O-line, and then Dylan Raiola, and that is it on the offensive side of the ball. I mentioned that the chat was talking about it too. You might have heard me on VSiN over the past couple months. I gave away Raiola as a Heisman. Because I think just the fact that Holgerson came in, what was it, like late October, early November. So you got a month with him in the bowl game. I think that he has the raw skills. And then when you mix him with a guy that knows what he's doing on offense, I think there is incredible value on Dylan Raiola to win the Heisman. That doesn't mean he will, but I think it's worth the shot, worth the play, especially knowing that they returned 3 of 5 on the O-line as well. They went to the portal, of course, brought in Marcos Davila from Purdue, backup quarterback spot. Dane Key from Kentucky, he's penciled in to start. Same with Neziah Hunter from Cal. I kind of like that Hunter get. Not Happy Gilmore, but hardly Gilmore from Kentucky also comes in. Rocco Spindler on the O-line. That might be the best damn fucking portal get in the country. That dude's a dog. His dad played in the NFL, former Pitt Panther back in the 80s, Matt. Cover your ears. But he played for the Detroit Lions as well and a few other NFL teams. That is a dog they got on the offensive line, in my opinion. They also brought in Elijah Pritchett from Bama, but Spindler is that guy to me. They got a long snapper, Kevin Golick from Montana State. Kicker Kyle Cunnan from Cal as well. Mac, this is a pretty easy one, in my opinion. Will the offense be better than 94th next year?
Absolutely. And Dane Key, I thought also was decent at Kentucky. They just offensively were bad because he had bad quarterback play. But Hunter also coming over from Cal, Spindler on the offensive line. The main thing Nebraska fans with Dana is he's coached really good quarterbacks. I mean, Geno Smith, Will Grier, Brandon Whedon, Graham Harrell, Case Keenum. I think he's going to help Raiola simplify the game, and he can scheme open guys. So I really like the offensive hire here with Dana Holgerson and Dylan Raiola. And like you said, he's coached personalities, guys in the league. Raiola is obviously a strong personality. He thinks he's fucking Patrick Mahomes for whatever reason. He's going to help him grow this year from the freshman to sophomore year, where we see a lot of guys go into sophomore slump. I think it'll be the opposite with Raiola.
I agree with all that. Folks, before we talk defense, I want to let you know the college football experience is brought to you by, us. Yes, we are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You can listen to every podcast that our network does all on one channel. The network. Yes, type in SGPN wherever you get your podcast and let it ride. We're also brought to you by Circa Millions and Circa Survivor. Think you know ball? Then you have to enter Circa's football contest. It's incredible. $21 million in guaranteed prizes. There is no rake. So if the entries go to, go above the guarantee, all the extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Millions. You pick 5 teams against the spread each week, or go for the ultimate sweat in Circa Survivor. There was even a Circa Grandissimo for $100K Survivor contest. You must enter in person at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, Las Vegas. What a great excuse to go to Las Vegas, to the world's biggest sportsbook where they have stadium swim. What are you doing? Go. Sign up in Nevada, play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy, I should add. Go to footballcontest.com, use the promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, all the summer sports, MLB, CFL. Check out the CFL Gambling Podcast, of course. WNBA, golf, and, of course, tennis and college football futures, NFL futures, everything. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well, even outside of the States. You can easily deposit, get lightning-fast payouts using crypto, so head on over to mybookie.ag. Use our promo code TCESGPN. For a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, of course. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. Now, Mac, if people have heard me on VSiN, they probably already know my opinions on the whole team. But if there's an area I'm very concerned about, it would certainly be the defensive side of the ball, because Tony White is a very good defensive coordinator, but he's gone. He left to go to Saudi Arabia State, aka Florida State. And now John Butler's the new DC. Mm-hmm. And Matt Rhule's a defensive guy, so I think the John Butler hire is probably a good hire, even though he's coming from the NFL ranks. But they inherit the 17th best scoring defense, the 65th best passing defense, the 8th best rush defense, charting at the number 18 overall defense in the country. The problem is, Mac, the whole damn defense is gone. The only people back are in the secondary, with Malcolm Hartzog, DeShon Singleton, and Ceyair Wright. That is my one hesitation on the season, I would say, with Kentucky, with Nebraska, is they went to the portal. They brought in Gabe Moore from Mississippi State on the D line, Jalen George from East Tennessee State, the Bucks, Williams Nawari from Mizzou, linebacker Dassan McCullough. I kind of like that kid because I know he was at Indiana and then he was at OU. Marques Watson Trent from Georgia Southern, Andrew Marshall from Idaho in the FCS, as well as Jameer Khan from Southern Illinois, the Salukis, as well as safety Justin Rhett from the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, that was underwhelming to me.
Yeah, but at least Butler was on the staff last year, so there is some continuity with him and Rhule.
I just thought, like, with Splindler and some of the gets, they would get Dane Key and having Raiola back. You got some guys, but the defense, I'm like, Yeah.
Watson Trent was all Sun Belt guy, so at least that's a piece. But I mean, this is the Big Ten, and I think Moore and McCullough. I think they can be good.
No, McCullough was good in the Big Ten with Indiana with Tom Allen. So I that's the one that's really stands out to me is the McCullough one.
Yeah, I am with you. I thought that they would bring in a little bit more because they don't struggle with NIL at Nebraska.
That's why I thought they might get some guys. I was expecting a little bit more, but
especially on the defensive line interior.
Yeah. So when I rattle off those numbers, I expect lots of regression there, but I still think the offense being so much improved, you still might be sitting on a good situation, but I do not have them as a top. I don't think they'll be a top 40 defense. So
the schedule might help the ranking.
That might help. Sometimes you can cook the books. Sometimes you can cook the books. Oh, speaking of cooking the books, man, does anyone remember this game? I got into college football with Sega Genesis, the video game, that is. I know it just came out, or it's coming out. What day is it? Today? One of these days. This game, dude. So, like, it used to be called Bill Walsh's College Football, the first couple editions. But then when they went to this one, the first couple of dishes are fire. 95 was probably my favorite. But then this one, to me, was the epitome of the game-changing one. Like, you had season mode. You had it was just 95, 96, 90 was cool. But, like, this one, to me, they turned the fucking corner. The one with Tommy Frazier, who in my mind, and look, people don't want to hear this, I'm sure, on this podcast as an ECU guy, but I grew up a Colorado fan.
Uh-oh.
And by the way, Rick George at Media Days saying we should play every year. Balls in your court, Nebraska. But let's be honest, Nebraska doesn't belong in the fucking Big Ten. I still say that shit is garbage. You should be playing Oklahoma, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, all those schools. But in my opinion, Tommy Frazier is the best quarterback I've ever seen in college football. He was the most dominant quarterback I've ever seen in college football. And I will go, I've been in plenty of bar arguments when people say Tebow or Manziel or something. I'm like, Tommy fucking Frazier was a fucking dog, man. Him in that offense, incredible to me. Like, just, and look, it was frustrating as a Bus fan at one point. It was just like, somebody tackle this motherfucker. Jesus. But he's so good. He was so good. And that video game always resonates with me. But, yeah, and shout out to Brandon. I agree. They need to bring...
You could argue that the downfall started when they left the Big 12.
It just didn't... I mean, I guess it makes sense when you say, like, how much they're going to get paid. But, like, I don't give a shit about, like, 90% of their schedule.
Yeah.
Like,
they lost their identity when they left the Big 12.
We had Larry the Cable Guy on, and he grew up in Nebraska. I mean, he grew up a diehard Nebraska fan. I think he still has his season tickets or his suite at the stadium. But he said, like, dude, what are we doing? I don't fucking care about Northwestern. I don't care about, the Wisconsin games. Like, we care about Oklahoma, Colorado, and then even Texas, which came in the Big 12 in the, in the late 90s there, in the mid 90s. But they just don't feel like a Big Ten team to me. I know geographically it makes sense. Well, who knows? With the Big Ten's geographic is the whole goddamn country. But anyway, that game was fire. And Tommy Frazier was just incredible. If you guys didn't get a chance to see him, it was the most dominant attack. It was so I probably threw a chair at the wall. You know what I mean? A couple times. Because the guy was so damn good in that option attack. We do a thing called State of the Program, and I think part of State of the Program, to bring it back, is also, Mac, I do think the conference and your identity as who you are matters, and that is an issue, I think, with them in the Big Ten. I think they've struggled for their State of the Program. I do think there's something to that. I don't know I don't know if it's they're recruiting better in California and Texas, but for whatever reasons, it still seems like a fish out of water to me. But Nebraska Memorial Stadium, Mac, is about the most, oh God, I've been to the stadium. It's fucking incredible. This is why college football will always be the greatest fucking sport on planet Earth. All right. You can't fuck with this, man. You can't. Like, this is, and it's 102 years old. This is their castle, Mac. This is what, you're not going to come in there. And maybe these Big Ten teams that we've never heard of, you come in there and do it. But damn it, those Big 12 schools, they're not coming in there and getting that. Oh, man. I've been to this place. It is, I would highly recommend anyone that's never been, go. Look at that fucking stadium. But what's great about it, Mac, is they've invested within the stadium. NFL teams, take note. You can do this and not ask your city to throw in a bunch of money every fucking 20 years. And your citizens. But the stadium, if you haven't been.
Oh, look at that thing.
This is a chapel. That's what I'm saying, dude. This is what a football stadium should be, in my opinion. You're supposed to, I mean, I sound like we do this 136 episodes. College football has like 100 great stadiums, but this is their castle. You protect this. This is supposed to be it looks like it. This is our city. This is our state school. Actually, when they're playing the games, I believe it's the third biggest city in the state when all the people are at the stadium. It is everything that is good with college football. And I just don't understand how someone can sit there and say, well, hey, guys, SoFi Stadium's great. I'm like, what? What, where the DJ's playing the hits on the third floor? You know what I mean? Like, what, the food court's quality? No, this is a fucking football stadium. This is the way the game is supposed to be fucking played. And it's fucking gorgeous. Go to this fucking stadium, people. I don't care where you're at. I don't give a shit if you're living in goddamn, Bangkok. All right? Get out to Lincoln, Nebraska. Look at this stadium.
The sellout streak. What's the sellout streak at now?
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation. They cook the books. I don't care.
Yeah. That thing right there sold out.
Yeah. Look at this stadium. This is football in America. I'm telling aliens, if I have to go to another planet, this is what you missed, man. We got this is football. Not that shit at Allegiant Stadium. All right? This is football. This is the way it's supposed to be played. This is gorgeous, man. This is like goddamn Picasso. Look at that. Through these gates, past the greatest fans of college football. Fucking awesome. What do you give this thing? 1 to 10? Obviously, I gave mine a 10. What are you giving this thing?
10. Look at that thing.
Yeah. It's just...
Dude, their fans care. Like, it'd be great to see Nebraska have a hell of a year and get back to national relevancy, even as a Colorado fan for you.
Dude, that's the thing about the college football is better when Nebraska is good. Most Colorado fans will tell you that, but I'm serious though. It really is better. Like, I grew up in the era of fucking Nebraska dominance, and I appreciate what they did. I really do. I mean, with the exception of like letting Lawrence Phillips play after he like threw his girlfriend out of a fucking window, it's just a dust up, just a little dust up or whatever it was. Yeah. And then he dragged her across the street. Might have done some other stuff, but hey, you know what? He's good to go Saturday. But besides that, they are a fantastic fan base, and they are everything. I like the uniforms, everything. Their stadium's fantastic. It's just look at that shit, dude.
Is that the Colorado game last year?
I think it is. It is, man. Yeah. It's just everything great about college football. Look at this is back in the day too, man. This is what I mean is like these NFL stadiums, these idiots, these people that tell you, well, they got to get a new stadium. No, that was once Nebraska Stadium. You have money, you rich ass billionaire shitbirds, throw your money into your stadium and you can build it. Like I find every excuse so lame. It's like, the Titans, Nissan Stadium's old. What are you talking about? It was built like 1998, 1999. What are you talking about? Yeah, I mean, look what they've done to this thing. They built this thing up. That was the same damn field, man. Fucking Pat Fisher played on this field, man. Look at this shit.
Did they have like a side game going down there on that previous image? Look at that.
Yeah, down here, I think so, man.
Yeah. The
freshman team. Yeah. Freshman team. Go. All right. Shout out to Dilly Dagger saying you've persuaded me to go, Colby. Yes, man. And there's so many of these in college football, man. What's crazy, man, is there's so many layers to this. Weehawk's in the chat. Weehawk is Western Carolina diehard. Their stadium's awesome. There's so many great, like the deeper you go, the better it is. Like you keep finding about all these great fucking places all throughout America. But look at this place, man. It's just really awesome. Get out to a game, support. Nothing like live college football. Look, I sit here in the studio. I have 8 fucking TVs. I can watch every game on planet Earth for college football. And, there's still nothing like the live game experience. So get out. It's completely different than an NFL crowd to me. Not only Nebraska, but most all the college football games. If you go to a game on campus, it's much more to me like friendly and fun. So get out to a game. Get out to a game. The stadium is a perfect example of why you should go to it. This This should be protected. This should be in our goddamn Constitution, as far as I'm concerned. Like, never take this thing down. Job well done, Lincoln, Nebraska. You guys know what the hell you're doing. Woo. So, and shout out to Never Graduate. Yeah. TCE makes me dive deep into D2 and D3. That's what I mean, though. You jump into those things, man, and you'll find there's a bunch of great shit out there. There's many layers. That's why when the Big Ten and SEC think about splitting off, which I don't think is even possible because of everything else, I think there's state laws and shit in the way. I say, okay, go have fun. There's a ton out there. Yeah, it's fantastic. Go to a game, get out to Lincoln, Nebraska. Fucking phenomenal. Hotel prices are going to be a grip, though. I did pay a shit ton for my hotel prices. State of the program, though, Mac Stadium, obviously phenomenal. I think they got the right guy with Matt Rhule, but they still need a breakthrough season. So I only gave it a 7 of 10 because they need that breakthrough season. Could this be that breakthrough season, perhaps? What are you giving the state of the program right now?
I'll go 7 as well. I mean, they ended their big bowl drought. Finally, they were like the longest Power 5 school with the bowl drought till last year. So breakthrough, but yeah, this year needs to be like a 9-win year. And we'll get to the schedule here in a minute because it breaks nicely.
Yeah. Let's get to the schedule. But before I do that, I want to let you know the college football experience Go Big Red edition is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million in first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football, folks. So sign up, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yes, you've probably heard me talk about Rhythm before. They just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a very high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. The MLB Power Trends are just dominating. 254 and 147 so far this season. A win rate of 63% and an ROI of 4.5% in the last 400 bets. Get in. Also, WNBA Power Trends. 35 and 20 since they launched this season. 63, almost 64% win rate there. 20.7% ROI. Download the Rhythm app. Check out Power Trends and start betting smarter. You know damn well we will be. Get your free 7-day trial period today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back. Man, we got Weehawk in the chat who grew up in Omaha, and he says 7 for state of the program is too high. It's at a 5. Go Big Red expects more. That's fair. And I still feel like they're a fish out of water in the Big Ten. I don't care what anyone says. If anything, I actually think they fit more with the SEC teams than they do the Big Ten teams. I know that sounds kind of stupid because you're like Nebraska's way up there, but I like just the history with Texas and Oklahoma, and they've got a little bit more of a history with A&M and stuff. I know they have a long history with Iowa and Northwestern and stuff, but Minnesota, but I still think it doesn't. Them playing Maryland, shut the fuck up. Like
UCLA.
Yeah, it's just weird. Week 1, Arrowhead Stadium. Hey, there's a good NFL stadium. Oh, yeah, guess what? They're going to detonate that in the next 5 years. Yeah. Any good stadium in the NFL, they're like, hey, let's blow this fucking thing up. I thought this was going to be an easy win for Nebraska because I do expect this to be a Nebraska crowd. But I must admit, I was getting the Cincinnati preview ready, and I think they might be a little better than I thought. I am still taking Nebraska, but I am a little more worried about this game than perhaps I was 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I was like, oh, this is a smash. Well, 2 months ago, I was giving out college football futures on VSiN, and I was like, I'm not worried about this game. Cincinnati's offense, Here's the problem. I think Cincinnati's offense can move, and I don't know about Nebraska's defense. So that's the concerning factor there. But I think Raiola will get his. Give me the Huskers, but a little worried about. I would actually take the points with Cincinnati right now if I had to place a bet. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tight game. Cincinnati was good early last year. They just tanked late because Satterfield. But yeah, they got a good offense. I think this is going to be a close game, and I want to throw the stat out there. Out of Matt Rhule's 13 losses in Lincoln, 10 of them have been by one score. So even though Scott Frost is gone, the one score voodoo still remains in Lincoln. I think that they're going to win a one-score game. I think that they're going to get on the right side of these one-score games. But that fucking one-score crazy stat from Scott Frost and then Matt Rhule has carried it on as well.
Yeah. Nebraska will have the crowd, and I think that's enough. Like, it might come down to, like, Raiola game-winning drive. What better way to kick off the season? Your superstar quarterback. But they need not start slow. Sometimes teams just in general, and I'm not saying Matt Rhule, I'm just saying teams in general can start slow. It can be a thing that actually just kind of hampers your season, and then you catch fire, and then they need to make sure they focus on that. But 1-0, but more scary game than I realized. Week 2, they're taking on the Akron Zips, Joe Moorhead. Series goes back to 1997, and I do think Akron's better this year, even though they're not eligible to go to a bowl game because they didn't meet the GPA requirement or some shit like that. But that means well, that's normally a good thing for football, right? Let's all hammer the over on Akron's win total. They got a bunch of dumbasses that love football. Smash play on the Akron over. Not in this game though. Nebraska cruises. 2-0. What are you doing here?
They still check academics this fucking year of 2025.
Yeah, especially in Akron. Have you been to Akron, Ohio?
I can't wait to do the Akron preview. Yeah, Nebraska 2-0, baby.
Yeah, they roll. Now, Nebraska fans. I will say in the 90s, when you guys had it rolling with Lawrence Phillips and Amon Green and not Calvin Hill. That's Grant Hill's dad. Calvin Jones, was it? Gosh, I'm trying to remember all the running backs. They had a slew of them.
They had a shitload. Damon
Benning, I think, was one. I mean, just Mike Rozier back in the day, but they've always had great. Roger Craig. One of the things you did in the 90s that really pissed me off as a Colorado fan was I felt like you scheduled some pussies out of conference often, right? Well, you're playing a school that has a CVS in their stadium. Houston Christian, shout out to Portnoy. I saw his video shitting on Nebraska for putting this game on the schedule. This game is ridiculous. It's one thing to play an FCS. It's another thing to play Houston Christian, who is recently in the FCS. Come on, guys. Come on. You're telling me you couldn't get Google image their stadium. They have a fucking CVS in their stadium. Yeah. I mean, this is low in my opinion. I will give who scheduled this? Trev Alberts. Is this the new AD or the old AD? I just gotta shit on you guys here. This is not fair. It's just and the committee never takes. They don't. I feel like they just phone it in, right? Like the committee should look at this. I don't care who you are. If you're Alabama, if you're whoever, if you're playing a awful FCS, that should matter. Because a good FCS, like Colorado played North Dakota State last year, right? They're like a top 40 team in the FBS. Houston Christian, I think against every single FBS team, I would lay 28. You know what I mean? Like this is a very bad game to put on your schedule, in my opinion. And I do think someone deserves to answer to this. Someone should deserve to answer this. I understand. I'm not blaming Houston Christian. I'm blaming Nebraska for putting it on the schedule. You're telling me Northern Iowa wasn't available? Telling me Southern Illinois, Illinois State, Western Illinois? I mean, shit. You're choosing one of the worst teams in the FCS, and I think that's pretty cheap of you. 3-0 though. What are you doing here?
They do have a CVS.
They have a CVS in their fucking stadium, dude. Like it. This is honestly like playing a fucking high school. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
3-0.
Yeah. Western Carolina, something with a little bit of a pulse. 3-0. The fans. Remember, I was like, Saban was bitching at his fans in Alabama. Yeah, they're not showing up. Oh, yeah, you're taking on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, buddy, come on now. This game though,
this guy
has
heat.
This is a huge game. This is, I think, Bryce Underwood's first Big Ten road start. Series goes back to 1905, assuming Underwood starts. Michigan at Nebraska. Can't wait to watch this game. And I'm taking Nebraska, dude. I think you go on the road in general, like it's as a freshman quarterback. He's got to go to OU in the non-con, so he might get a little bit prepared for this, but I still think Nebraska can mess with them. Give me the Huskers 4-0. What are you doing here?
Yeah, the number is 3. Michigan's only laying 3 here. Give me the home dog. Yeah, Nebraska experience against a young quarterback. I know he will get a road start at Oklahoma most likely before this, but this is league play now. So yeah, I'll go Matt Rhule 4-0 to start it.
Unbelievable. Can you imagine how crazy
CBS man
Lincoln will be going?
Yeah.
And in case people are wondering, Houston Christian lost to SMU by 52 last year, and they caught off the dogs. They lost to Stephen F. Austin within the FCS by 49. You know what I mean? Like that, and they're not even like a top 25 FCS team. So just to paint the picture for you on how shitty they are. Anyway, let's continue on this journey. They come out of what's that?
I was going to say, you're absolutely right, though. I mean, that game is a 3:30 CBS game. Like, this place is going to have some juice to it. If they get this win, this Cornhusker fan base is going to be fired up.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be insane. Get yourself out. Get your tickets now, folks. Oh.
There he is.
There, Tommy Osborne. We got a nice bye week after Michigan. That is a good bye week because Michigan can be a body blow type of team. That is a very good bye week. They come out of the bye week and they take on Jonathan Smith and Sparty. And the series is 111 years old. I got Nebraska winning this, but I'll say this: if you're searching for trap games, if you are, Jonathan Smith, I think, is a very good head coach. So this could be a little more tricky than perhaps it looks at this moment. But I'm still taking Nebraska 5-0. What are you doing here?
Same. We're seeing eye to eye on this, and don't let this be the UCLA home loss from last year. Remember they dropped that random UCLA home game. Sparty's going to be improved. It's off the bye. 5-0.
5-0, and then they head to College Park, Maryland.
6-0.
This is a bottom 10 game to watch in college football this year, in my opinion. I actually think the Houston Christian Nebraska game might be more entertaining. Who will have the crowd?
Nebraska. If they're 5-0, they're all gonna drive there. They won't even fly. They're gonna drive there. I don't give a shit. The Cornhuskers are 5-0, baby. 6-0.
I will say this: like Maryland recruits well.
Yeah.
So but Loxley's so bad against anybody with a pulse.
Fucking terrible.
6-0. 6-0. They win. Even if it's an ugly win, they're gonna find a way to win the game.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
6-0. 6-0.
Yeah. Tyler in the chat calling us clowns already. Perfect. Well, we're at 6-0, so we haven't gone past 7 yet. You said 7. How do you know we don't have them going on a 6-game losing streak? Next, they go to row the boat. And let me tell you, this series is 125 years old.
Friday night game.
I can tell you this, man. PJ Fleck is the type of guy that will, if you're top 15, I like his chances. Give me Minnesota with the upset win. 6-1, Tyler. All right. Let me do a backflip for you. All right. What are you doing here, man?
Yeah. Short week, back to back. So you got to go to Maryland, come back, go up to Minnesota on a Friday night. Give me the Golden Gophers. And remember this game 2 years ago? Matt Rhule's opener when they completely choked that game away.
Oh my God. Nebraska fans are vomiting still from that game.
It was Scott Frost era all over again in Matt Rhule first.
That shit was so bad, man.
They should have won that game. Yeah, 6-1. That row the boat gets it done.
6-1. They stormed the field probably there. Then they come back home to take on Northwestern. I went to this very game. This is destruction here. Series goes back to 1902. 7-1. They're going to beat Northwestern. They're going to beat them bad. What are you doing here?
7-1. Yeah, no trap game here.
All right, so now circle this game. I know I feel like it's a trendy play too. I feel like a lot of people are talking about this. This is one of the harder games for me to project. But when I look at the time of year it is, November, you're going to try throwing the ball all around. Series goes back to 1969. USC Trojan men at Nebraska. Give me these Huskers. 8-1. I look, I'm fascinated by this game. Early season, like games to get excited about, like you're looking at playing out the drama in your head on what the records can be. I am high on USC this year. I just wonder. I think this game is so critical for both teams' chances to make the playoffs. I think both teams can make the playoffs this year. I really not at the same time, but I think both teams are capable of getting to the playoffs this year, which makes this game fucking huge. Give me the Huskers. What are you doing here?
USC's coming off a bye. I don't like him in November in Lincoln. But I think Lincoln Riley off the bye gets it done, and they hand the Cornhuskers their second loss of the year. I think the speed gets them. I know it's going to be tough to throw the ball, but I just think the team speed is too much for that Huskers defense. So, yeah, give me USC. Nebraska's 0-5 all-time against USC, by the way.
Well, they follow it the next week with a trip to the legendary Rose Bowl. And let me tell you, if they beat USC, I got an upset in Pasadena here happening. Give me Nico and the Bruins, who went into Lincoln last year. I don't want to hear any people talking shit. Is DeShon Foster's 1-0 against these Huskers. To me, if you beat USC, and I have USC as a pretty high-ranked team at that point in the season, I think they trip up at UCLA. So I got them 1-1 against the LA schools. What do you got them doing here?
Yeah, I'll say they get revenge. They get revenge out west. So we both got them at, 8-2 headed into the final bye week?
8-2, final bye week. Look at fucking Dean Steinkooler. Fumble Rooski, one of my favorite fucking plays. Come on, go watch. Folks, this is all free out there for you. You're in the dog days of summer, right? You need to watch football, right? Because that's just the greatest thing. You got the old Orange Bowl. Shout out to Tom Osborne going for 2 in the win. Back then, there was no overtimes. I can respect that. One of the greatest games, one of the greatest national championships. Go watch it.
Playoff implications here. If they're 8-2,
if they're 8-2 and they go to Matt Rhule's alma mater, Penn State.
Have they played Penn State yet?
I was supposed to go to this game like 15 years ago. I had tickets for this game. And it was when the Sandusky shit went down. And I was like, fuck that. With all the media that went there, I ended up going to Tempe and catching Arizona. I just burned the tickets too. Back then, it was like, I mean, there was like Ticketmaster and stuff, but it was a tricky thing. You couldn't just upload your I don't think I had an iPhone and stuff. So I just burned the tickets, just pissed away $200. I'm sorry. This is a loss.
Yeah, even though they got the bye week, they're not winning at State College. Late in the year, Penn State's gonna be rolling by this time. 8-3 in the playoffs burst.
8-3. All you got to do is win a game against Kirk Ferentz, and you're in the playoffs.
They've lost the last 2 years by an exact score of 13-10, both years. 3 straight, they lose 13-10. Iowa wins again.
I'm with you. Here's the thing. This is November 29th, man.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able. Holgorsen does air raid.
Dana's teams always petered out in November. We were always good in September and October. November, we would go.
You're trying to go air raid against Kirk Ferentz and Phil Parker? Yeah. Sorry. This is now, don't get me wrong. This will come down to the final drive of the game. But give me a 16-14 Iowa win. They make a 49-yard field goal late in the third, and we go scoreless in the fourth. 8-4 is my record. But I want to say, Mac, you look at the win total, 7.5. I will take the over. And I've already bet this. I will say that I bet this a couple months back, and I am a little fearful with the defense. I felt better about it in like May or April, whenever I bet this, than when I do right now. However, I am still betting them to win the Big Ten, because I think that path, once again, you look at this thing, I think there is a scenario where Cincinnati is one of their losses, and maybe they beat Minnesota or something. I think there is a world where that could possibly be. But even with that, they kind of got the Signetti Indiana schedule last year.
Yep.
They got, like, if you're looking for who got the great schedule, I know Michigan and Penn State are on this thing, and USC, but there is no Oregon, there is no Ohio State, there's no Washington, who played in the Natty recently, but I could see a scenario.
Illinois,
Indiana, beat them by 50 last year. There is a scenario here, like when you think about it, if they beat Michigan, Michigan State, Maryland, so you have them with 3 conference losses, or no, you have them with 4 conference losses.
4,
Iowa, right?
Yeah, we both had them at 5-4.
Yeah, but if they did beat Iowa, if they did beat Minnesota, which, as much as I'm taking Iowa and Minnesota, I'm not taking it by that much.
No,
you're talking a play here and there.
Last year they lost to Iowa. They were up 10-0, and they outgained them, tripled their yardage, and still lost 13-10. The most Iowa game ever. Yeah. No, here's the thing, though, dude. I do think there's value to take them to win the Big Ten, because if they do that, they'll be playing in Indianapolis, the air raid. Who knows? And they're probably not going to be playing, like, with them having a stupid 18-team conference. Yeah. There's a shot they're not playing Ohio State or Penn State. What if they're playing USC again? What if they're playing Michigan? What if they're, with the tiebreakers? You saw it in the Big 12. We've seen it in the ACC a couple years ago, where you have these crazy tiebreaker scenarios. So it's like you might not even be playing the best team in the conference. You know what I mean? So I think there's a path. The ceiling, to me personally, the absolute ceiling is 11-1, Mac. It is. It's literally the exact Indiana path, where they win all the games that are either toss-ups or they're favored in, and they lose the road game to a top 5 national championship contender. Ohio State last year, they have Penn State. I think Indiana played Ohio State the second to last game as well. It's literally the identical schedule.
Now, let me ask you something. What if Cincinnati beats Nebraska?
Oof. It's going to take some air out of that the Nebraska hype train to start the year.
I'm saying, so what I'm essentially saying is, if Cincinnati gets Nebraska, what is the floor? And by the way, they're playing their first road game in week 7. What the fuck is that?
October 11th, and it's at fucking Maryland.
See, this is something, and I'm not saying this to Cornhusker fans. I'm saying this to college football. When I just watch Big 12 Media Days, when I hear all these coaches bitch about stuff, this should be noted by the committee. Like, this stuff we got to get rid of. There should be like a requirement of playing a road game per month, at least. You know what I mean? Like, come on. This isn't driven towards Nebraska. I mean, it is for this episode, but I'm saying, like, for any team in the nation, week 7 is fucking halfway through the season.
Michigan did the same shit the last 2 years. Their first game wasn't until October.
That's what I'm saying, though. If we're gonna do this, if I saw every coach talk about rev share, we want a level playing field. Level playing field. You should have to play a road game at least once a month. At least once a month. Week 7. What's the floor? The floor is one loss to Cincinnati, one loss to Michigan, one loss to Minnesota, one loss to USC.
6-6.
Is there a world where 5-7 could actually happen? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Rule in year 3. I mean, if Raiola goes down like the Cincinnati game and they have a backup quarterback the whole year, but like if they're healthy and they just lose a shitload of 1-score games again, I think 6-6.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
11-1 the ceiling, 6-6, which means another bowl, which means you get back to stabilizing this program some. I'm on the over. I've already bet it, so I might as well lock it up. But I'll tell you this, man, I don't feel as good about it as I did before. But I still think it's gonna hit. So I will. I bet it. Let's fucking lock it up. How confident do you feel in the over, Mac?
I feel pretty confident. I think Rhule's going to take another step. And to Capper's point, they only have 4 true road games. I mean, if they can't win at least 8 with this schedule, that's a wasted opportunity, in my opinion, Cornhuskers.
Yeah,
you got to at least win 8 or 9 with this thing.
Here's a great point too. In Maryland and UCLA are sleepy road spots. You can actually make an argument because they'll have the crowd at Arrowhead. They might have the crowd at College Park, or no one will be there. One of the two. And at UCLA, they will have the crowd. I know that for a fact. So Minnesota and Penn State.
Like, God damn, you couldn't ask for anything more, man.
Yeah. It's just it just cracks me up though when I hear all this shit and about you want everyone to have the same, and it's like, well, then how are you going to protect this shit? And it's not Nebraska's fault. I mean, Houston Christian's Nebraska's fault, but not this. Someone in the Big Ten is going to get this schedule every year because you have an 18-team conference and you only can play 9 conference games.
And look at Wisconsin's schedule.
That's what I'm saying. So it makes it it makes it even harder. If you kept it 5 or 6 different conferences, it would be a little bit easier, but it makes it even harder to tell who the hell is what. You know what I mean? Like, Indiana should have gotten the playoffs last year based off the resume. I argue that all day. Yes, they should have. But at the same time, like, I see the validity in like saying they didn't beat anybody good, but I'm like, okay. Yeah. I mean, but that's not their fault that the schedule is the schedule. You know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to do? Do you like the odds to make the playoffs plus 630?
Yeah, I mean, they could get to 10-2. I mean, we just laid it out. They only have one for sure loss at Penn State.
Yeah.
I think it's worth the sprinkle. I mean, they could go 10-2 and their only losses are at Minnesota and at Penn State.
I think it's worth a sprinkle too.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have better odds to win the Big Ten, which I think you get the Big Ten. Yeah. And maybe that is the best play on the board because you get the Big Ten championship. What happens if you are playing Ohio State? You know what I mean? Like, there's the unknown, but I still think, it's all 3 are solid plays. The win total. Yeah. All 3. Folks, that's our show. Remember, breaking down all 136 college football teams. I have a nice slideshow to honor the history of Nebraska football, which I actually do care about, surprisingly. Tomorrow we will not be live at our normal time, but we will have a daytime show covering the Nevada Wolfpack at 2:00 Eastern. The Nevada Wolfpack will be talked about. kind of excited to talk about this Wolfpack, by the way. We'll be back on Saturday with some more teams. In case you're wondering, let me see if I can quickly pull this up. On Saturday, we will be talking LSU Tiger football, TCU Horned Frog football, and if we get a third in, it will be Saudi Arabia State, aka Florida State. So buckle up. We're both on the over. We're locking it up. This is the college football experience. Go Big Red style. You better start thinking about yours. And we are somewhere out of here. Where the hell's my... There we go.
Mailbox 1. You have 7 messages. 1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo.
Oh, you used to be able to play football. Look at that.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks. Largely cause leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged, aboard stiff. So arrange the pieces to appear cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift.
I'm taking a pitch right now. It's like
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles taped. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and the turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pair of feet by the tree that are fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the hair. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause the season goal moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Conspiracy theories, gotta love them clearly. Nothing's more entertaining than entertaining a query. Just the words of the wise and the weary. Recognize the authors of reality and theory. Theoretically, I could have won Scribble Jam. In reality, I lost to a legend. Theoretically, I'm best friends with Uncle Sam. In reality, I've never even met him. Now, one day my potential may become reputation. Until then, I'm still a work in progress. I suggest you question what I'm saying. If anything, to become familiar with the process. My agenda may suit your needs. When I say your Bill of Rights has been ripped to shreds, but if it defends what you believe, hold dear to your truths and scream fuck seeds. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, and nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself.